On our Masters of Practicing Management, our leadership programs I run with Henry Mintzberg, we have the 50-50 rule, where at most the professors can speak 50% of the time, at most. So again, this goes back to the idea of more focusing on the students, and it fits with a book I'm doing on postmodern management. So the idea of the book in one sentence, there's seats down here if you want to come down, it won't bother me. So come on down and have a seat here, if you're so inclined. I'll pause for a second. So the idea of postmodern management is saying people over 45 with the university degree were taught a modern worldview. People under 35 with the university degree, you guys, have been taught a postmodern worldview, therefore must be led or managed differently. It's the worldview we're teaching younger people like yourselves is quite different than the worldview that I was taught. One of the central points is the decline, if not death, of hierarchy. So when I was a kid, I'd go to a doctor. The doctor was a man back then. He'd have a white coat on, a stethoscope around him as a symbol of authority, and he'd have a desk you could land an aircraft on. And my mom would take me, and he was God, and we were here. Today when I go to my doctor, it's a woman. Most of our students at McGill Medicine are women. And we sit chairs beside each other. She doesn't have any uniform on, no signs of authority. And I sit beside her and go, Doc, I Googled what's wrong with me on the way here, and I have 3 theories. What do you think? Do you guys do that with your physicians? So again, you know, I've taught this, I did grand rounds in Saudi Arabia and Burma, and they both agreed in those countries it was just like that back home. So I figure if it's like that in Saudi Arabia and Burma, it's probably like that here in Montreal. So authority is much less. So when you look at learning, the students call me Karl because I asked them to, and they have no problem with that. Now, our MBA in Tokyo, the Japanese still wrestle with that. Now, I'm old enough that I'm in charge, you're not, there's not going to be an uprising. Is that a fair statement? There's no question at my age, I have authority, and we're not contesting that. Now, if I was 27, 28, I might wear a tie as a man, and a suit just to have a bit of authority as a younger man. But I'm not worried about that. But that also affects, the students are going, my story is almost as good as your story, in spite of your 27 referee journal articles and 10 books. My story is almost as good as your story. So I think we got to change how we teach. So I'm allowed to say, as someone who speaks English, well, gotta, because it's poor English, but I speak so well, I'm allowed to do that. If you're Francophone, you can't do it. Okay, so sorry about that. So it's something where it ain't it true, though? So again, poor English, but I'm allowed to because I speak well normally.